Hello to you, new React video. In this video, we will listen to Natalie Yam's critiques against Alain Foka. A day ago yesterday, on the 4th of August, Alain Foka published this video, and it is on this video now that she made the critique. So in her Telegram group, she said, I quote, "I just watched, which is rare, Alain Foka's chronicle titled, 'The Threat Looming Over Africa.' Under the guise, the speaker, she is insidious and pernicious." So it was this video too, "The Threat Hanging Over Africa." It is this video by Alain Foka. I think it has gotten quite a lot of views. It already has more than 200,000 views. And so it has been watched there. And what does she say about that then? First point, citing Mamadi Doumbouya, among the military leaders who had the courage to change the system in place since the time of slavery, colonization, and France Africa, while Doumbouya, endorsed by Ouattara, never disturbed by Paris and Washington, has changed nothing of it all, has not removed any French, European, or American interests. So the act of doing it is simply dishonest on the part of Alain Foka. That's what she explains.
It must be clear to everyone. Support is not just for people. Whether we love them or hate them, one thing is for sure. These officers, whether it's Assimi Goïta from Mali, Ibrahim Traoré from Burkina Faso, Mamadi Doumbouya from Guinea, or Abdurrahman Tiani from Niger, they are true game changers. Not because they staged a coup, but simply because they ended a model that had reached its conclusion. A model that everyone in Africa opposed, but didn't dare to challenge for fear of retaliation. Whether we like it or not, they managed to oust those who for so many years imposed their pace, their schedule, and their men.
Secondly, when he lists the negative effects of military regimes on the people, he mentions inflation in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. But he remains silent when it comes to Guinea under his friend Mamadou Doumbouya.
This image applies more than ever to these AES leaders. The first battle to be fought quickly is against the people who supported them in the one they just won. These people stood behind them to expel the occupying armies. These people accepted suffering, enduring sanctions. These people accepted austerity, the lack of medicines they needed. These people endured power cuts that killed many small businesses, which caused the death of patients in operating rooms. These people accepted so many sacrifices that they now want to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Thirdly, she says this. Her insistence on pushing the leaders of the AUS to quickly move away from managing daily affairs to give hope to the populations is not only ungrateful, but it echoes the demands of hostile foreign powers. The AUS countries are still at war, and it is even intensifying. Why insist they hand over urgently?
It is now up to these leaders who have restored its dignity, to these governments that emerged from this coup, to these regimes that have fostered so much hope within them, to set a framework, to move away from daily management of current affairs to give them hope. These populations are exhausted, weary of waiting. It is important to show them they were right to support them, that the best things on their plate in their daily life are yet to come. When living in all these countries, one must acknowledge that the cost of living has skyrocketed.
He clearly states that the officers do not involve the people in the vision of development they aspire to. What audacity! He forgets that the military in power have conducted the largest popular consultations ever organized in these countries, the refoundation forums, the national dialogue, etc.
I can testify, having met them all, that they are truly driven by a desire to change things. They are on the ball, as they say. It is not the will that is lacking, but the situation is urgent and concerning, so that we can move to a higher speed. For this, a great union is necessary, a broad framework for discussion, reflection, and sharing of ideas that must quickly be made concrete. Switch to listening mode, then quickly switch to action mode. In short, the populations must be given the opportunity to participate in this change and to keep hope alive through the new way of thinking about Africa.
The fifth point she emphasizes is this one. Why must the good remedy necessarily come from a new political class, in parentheses, that he and his French bosses will designate, and not from the military leaders who are in power?
All those party leaders and former ministers who have made politics their career and who see in this upheaval the end of their privileges must understand that this time is over. Their efforts to destabilize these matters do not help advance the overall schedule. They do not need others to come back. They are not the solution. For many, they are a source of the problem. If they were capable of better, it would be known. They would have shown it in the past. If they want to be useful, they should instead bring their experience to support the movement that is underway. New actors are needed. The political class must be renewed.
The sixth point she emphasizes is when he talks about the unjustified and sudden abductions of innocent people. He points to the close circle of the AUS leaders. But once again, he does not mention his good friend Mamadi Doumbouya, even though people are being joyfully abducted in Guinea without the country being at war, nor subjected to foreign or terrorist destabilizations.
But it is also important to draw the attention of these AES leaders who seem concerned about their people to the increasing risk posed by some of their close associates, who damage their image, their commitment, and their struggle by their tendency to unjustified and sudden abductions of innocent people. I remember the negative consequences this had during the Sankara revolution with some CDRs. So, stay vigilant.
She concluded by saying this: well, the 6 points she mentioned are the issues she highlighted as inconsistencies in her video, as points of disagreement with Alain Foka. And now she concludes by saying, I repeat, this man, Alain Foka, has never in his entire life been involved in a Pan-African or sovereignty struggle. This is a fact. The writings and audios are there. And he is the one who now wants to give lessons to people like thinking about Africa differently. He himself said it. The people have a memory, and this memory is not limited to the deeds and misdeeds of the old political class, but also to those who for 32 years served the France-Afrique system in the media and whispered in the ears of subjugated heads of state. At best, he is a businessman without faith or law who identified opportunities to fill his pockets by seeking markets in the AUS. At worst, he is an infiltrator on a mission for his longtime bosses. 32 years in service to the #1 propaganda tool of France-Afrique and the Quai d'Orsay to build credibility within the African sovereigntist circle in order to mingle with the leaders of the AUS, suggesting flawed policies like the twisted constitutional change he advised to his buddy Forine Asimbe, who opens his doors to him and keeps his bosses informed about the strategy and plans of Assimi Goïta, Ibrahim Traoré, or Abderrahman Chani, or even to influence them. The art of pretending to praise our leaders while actually denigrating them. Have a good week. And this comment she posted in her Telegram group, you can see the rest on the Telegram interface, was made this morning at the time in Cameroon. That's what I had to share with you all in this particular video. A harsh critique, a very direct critique, a critique that doesn't mince words against Alain Foucault from Nathalie Yambe. What do you think? As usual for these kinds of things, for struggles and the like, I always take them with a grain of salt. Though there are many things I don't fully understand, at least I'm learning bit by bit to form my own opinion. For this video, I watched Alain Foucault's entire commentary that she references here. I must also admit that I'm not very into negative news. And it's true that the points she highlighted are quite relevant. Now, at your level, what do you think? Tell me in the comments and we'll meet again in the next video.